Are we live? What's going on, everybody? This is Isaac, and we are back at the shack. And happy Hispanic month, everybody. To all you Raza out there. Actually, it's going to be September 16th, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring my boys. I've been wanting to get them in here for a whole minute. I'm talking about the OGs of Conjunto Norteño. Well, maybe not Norteño, because that's been around forever, but at least the whole Conjunto scene, these guys have been here for a whole minute. I'm talking about Pedro Zamora and David Garcia. What's going on, fellas?
You make it sound old, man, when you say it like that.
I
man.
know. Well, I see. I didn't.
Been around for a whole minute.
I didn't bring it up to you. You guys said 96. It's like, ooh, dang, there's dust on there.
Yeah, a little bit, man.
I hear you, fellas. What's going on, fellas?
Man, thank you for having us, bro.
No problem. Matter of fact, I can speak up to the mic. Yeah, get right up there.
All right.
Just,
Is that better?
Yeah, and if you can set it up for you to, set it up. I didn't think about doing that a while ago. Fellas,
No, we'd like to thank you, man, for inviting us. It's been a while since we wanted to swing by.
Yes, brothers, and we've been seeing each other here lately, every now and then for stuff, but we never had a time to do this, and it's crazy. I've been doing this for about 7 years already, and I wasn't able to get you, but just because just like in life, especially before Corona. We were all playing all the time, or something was going on.
Long
in life.
Overdue.
Something. So
life happens, and like tonight, I mean, we planned to have our the whole band here, but our drummer had something going on. He's got kiddos, and then our bajo player too, with something with his family, and then I had to run some stuff with the kiddos too. Had to run over here, so yeah, man, we stay pretty busy, man.
Well,
but
thank you for
we're glad
this,
we're
fellas.
here, man.
Thank you. Salud.
I'll pick up the guitar a little bit, man, and that way
salud.
everyone can laugh at me and be like, man, why did they put it down, man?
But thank you for inviting us, man.
I see we'll go back through the whole names. I'm talking about here in a little bit. We talk about the Jokers. We talk about my Steve and all that. But right now it's Zamora County line. Right now
it's Zamora County line, man. It's a project that we've been working on for a while. It started before COVID. And then COVID hit, and it just kind of everybody started doing their own thing, man. It was kind of tough to do anything,
right?
Everything shut down. But it's a mix, man. We're in Texas. I mean, Texas is kind of a melting pot of all kinds of different things.
It is,
man.
dude. It is,
and that's pretty much what Zamora County line is, man. I think of it as a place where you can have Merle Haggard, George Jones having a beer with Ramon Ayala and
Lalo Mora,
something like that.
Yes.
Where both worlds meet, man. Where both worlds collide.
To speak into something you didn't, and this really hit me just now. I wrote an instrumental on. I may have jammed it with you before, called "Honky Tonks and Hot Sauce," and it's just an instrumental. It's a cross between honky tonk music and conjunto because I didn't grow up in Tejano. I started when I was 20 years old. Because I lived out there in the country, we didn't really get Tejano until Kick FM really hit on. We had Mr. Montelongo, which is came out to be my father-in-law.
Great days, I remember those.
He would.
Norteño, brother.
He would. It would bleed into Marlin if the wind blew just right. Sometimes, it was on a Sunday también. But what I'm saying, but when I started cutting my teeth, as far as playing out there honky tonks and all this stuff and Tejano, they both hit me hard like a ton of bricks. So I can see the Zamora County line. I mean, it's Texas. It's a lot of things. A lot of things, combined into one. It could be. And right now, here's the deal. You can go so many ways. You can be playing honky tonk and with conjunto and all that, or accordion like y'all doing. But I can even go left field and do something that's even just that's not expected, and people would have still accepted right now. Because music is hitting hard right now. So
we did a gig a few months ago, man, and it was an all-country set.
Right.
And then we just, they specifically hired us because they wanted just country music.
That's kick-ass. It is what it is.
And we're out there, and we're like, all just kind of looked at each other, man, let's throw in a cumbia.
Right.
We threw in a cumbia, man, and they were like, "Oh man, all right."
A couple of Miller Lights, don't white folks gonna be saying that sounds all right.
Yeah, the other night, like you said, man, they were requesting it,
La Bamba.
And then a few weeks ago, we did a set where it was all norteño, man. The whole gig we didn't do one country song. We played everything, so it's just I mean, why not?
That's it.
And the lyrics are pretty much the same. It's like hitting the SAP button. You have beer drinking songs, songs about heartbreak.
That's it.
You know, the lyrics are almost the same. So
and the lifestyle that people live is pretty much the same. And it is. It's either city folks or country folks here in Waco. I mean, here in Texas, because Texas is so damn big. You know, once you cross the city limits, you're gonna be in the country for a whole minute. So that's what Texas is. It's a combination of a lot of things. Not to mention, we still got the blues.
That's right.
We got a lot of things here in Texas. You know, along with some strong rap music and especially around Houston. You know.
Well, even here, man, like I'm surprised about how many like rap artists are here.
Yes, I know. Me too.
How many?
That's a blessing.
How many artists? Period. There are here in Waco.
Waco's kicking ass right now, brothers.
There's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of guys that are playing with big acts, like from San Antonio, from down south, and the musicians are here, man. Out of Waco.
I'd love to see you guys at the backyard. I bet once people hear it, it's like I like that. Once a couple of beers start kicking in. They will love it. You know what? That's what it is.
And that's another reason why I kind of had this idea in mind, man, because, I mean, we've always played Tejano, Conjunto, Norteño, and that music, man, I mean, we've gone all the way and played in Monterrey, Mexico, man.
Yes, brother.
Some of the largest venues out there, but there's still people here in Waco that they really haven't heard us, man.
I know.
Really haven't.
It's always been that way, man. We've always been like the most unknown local band.
I know,
ever.
Dude.
Even when we had like the whole record deal, and when we were
right,
yes. We were with Garmix, we were doing Univision, and we were doing all this stuff, and the people would run into you and they'd kind of recognize you and they'd be like, hey, what are you doing in Waco? I'd be like, man, I'm your neighbor, man.
I know it, right?
You have your venues here, but they're the options are a little bit limited,
Yes.
And so I was like, man, if we can not cross over, but kind of blend things a little bit to where we can get into some of these venues.
Yes, there are no rules right now. There are no rules. I believe back when we started playing the genres, which is in the 90s, there were rules.
Right.
There were rules. And Norteño was Norteño. Norteño stayed at La Fuente. Tejano stayed at the Missions, and La Montelista would mix it up, más o menos. Country, honky tonks were the honky tonks. Melody Ranch, whatever, but nowadays it's a free for all.
It's a melting pot.
It is a free for all.
Yeah,
yes.
exactly.
So right now, I guess have y'all played any venues yet with Zamora County Line?
Zamora County Line, we've done a few private parties. We have an event coming up. This Saturday, we'll be at the Waco Mission celebrating some birthdays out there.
Okay,
that's
what's
out
up.
there. We are going to
actually, I think it's public, brother. I think
is it okay?
I think
okay.
so,
that's
man.
what's
for
up.
Pancho de Leon's birthday. It's like a little birthday bash. I want to say it's.
Did you happen to see that post I put up on Facebook yesterday?
I don't think.
I didn't know it was going to be like that, but I just asked the question. I don't know. Here's the question. I didn't mean to turn it like that, but it just happened to show. Y'all played a private event.
I did see that. I did see that.
Did y'all ever post y'all playing private events? I mean, is that, I don't know if that's frowned upon or not. I don't know. I mean, is it or is it not?
We haven't started doing that as far as like posting a lot of our gigs.
I mean,
are you supposed to or you not supposed to?
The thing is, like, like we both run our like social media.
Okay.
And I generally tend not to post any.
If the people can't go to it.
If I print, these are the events that are coming up. I don't ever make it a point to be like, October 10th, private event. I just don't.
But I can see if people do it. I think it's cool too, but I mean, I don't know.
It makes you look busy.
It does. Yeah, and so I can see how that works.
Maybe I should start doing it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't know. I mean, it's like people told me, it's like, and they stated their opinion, which is, yes, it does make you look busy. Plus, if they're looking for somebody like Zamora County Line, because they'll look, see if they're available, because they're playing a private event. I can see that part too. I just put it out there. To me, it made it look like, okay, you're doing it just to show that you're busy. But yes, it does do that, but it also has its other things like I just said, let other people know, we can't book them that day, whatever. But that was just a question I put out there, and people responded. But
we do
there was
no malintent.
No malintent. I just wanted to know. Damn.
Yeah.
Because you definitely don't want to put that private person's information on.
Yeah,
there, right.
It's gonna be on Chambers Street. Right around the corner from you see that gas station. You see the line of cars.
You don't want to let them know that a Klan member hired you, man. You're playing the Klan rally for.
Exactly.
So we'll be at the Waco Missions this weekend, and then the following weekend on the 24th, we'll actually be playing at Brotherwell Brewery. We'll be out there for their Oktoberfest.
Is that one on by LaSalle?
It's over there off of Elm.
Gotcha. Because there's a few breweries.
Right. I think this one's the one that's like kind of right in front of the fire station.
That shows you how long I have not been gigging.
They've redone that whole area, man. It looks really nice.
It is, man. You don't look all scared anymore.
No.
Yeah, on the 1st of October, we'll actually be with y'all guys, man. We're going to do that gig
that's going to be kick ass. Yes, October the 1st?
I think so.
October 1st.
Mayberry's Tavern. That's
kick
a
ass
benefit gig. So
we're
getting there, man. It's everybody's story, man. The pandemic, we've always talked about doing this project.
Yes.
This is probably like our 4th time trying to get it off the ground, and then we actually had it pretty good. We were doing good. We're starting to book some gigs. Then our last gig was October 20th, right in 2020.
Wow. Where was that at?
It was a private gig.
Private house gig. He didn't post it.
A wedding, yeah.
It was a wedding, man, and it was old Sammy Colunga. Shout out to Sammy.
Yeah.
He jammed with us. And it was like we had a good set, man, and we were like, all right, man, this is what we're looking for. This is what we want, and then everything shut down. I think you got it right. You got.
Yeah, I got sick, man. Like right the end of October, early November.
And that was it, man.
And it was just so, man. It was like uncharted territory, man. Like you didn't know. I honestly had gotten the flu worse than what I got sick. But man, you just hear about people passing away.
I know.
I think the whole. Man.
That's what besides before I don't get shut down, but that was the whole intent in the first place to do with that. It was all mind tactics, mind games. It did exist. It did exist before the government really said, let's make sure they know that it exists.
Everybody was kind of doing their own thing. I mean, I stayed busy, man. I was playing because of what was going on. People weren't doing the huge parties. Myself and a buddy of mine, man, we were doing a lot of private stuff at people's houses, man. And we would keep our distance, and we stayed pretty busy doing that, man. But everybody kind of just did their own thing during that time. And once things got, a little better, man, we started getting together and practicing again and just get the ball rolling, man.
Can we jam one? Let's jam one.
I got my squeeze box.
There you go.
Man.
We can grab this, I believe, whatever guitar you want to, brother.
Oh, man, you're going to put me on the spot, man. I ain't picked up a guitar in a...
Personal recommendation, get the Telecaster, the black one.
Pass me that black one, brother.
That one I just had redone.
Man.
My wife bought me that one, and I got it painted black. It was like it was like a transparent charcoal. Right there, right here, brother. And I put I had a humbucker in it, so I had to put a plate in there. Oh, hold up. You know what? Okay, I was making sure we're plugged into that thing. No, we're good.
Don't you want to play too?
I mean, I can't play.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I can't. But are you on, brother? There you go. But those two have the Brad Paisleys in them. I love that little hot rod Telecaster. Are you getting to pick, brother?
Probably, man. Turn it down, brother, because I'm gonna be all over the place.
What song we doing?
I don't know, man.
Let's do Chaparra de mi amor. It's an old
Chaparra de mi amor.
Ramon Ayala cover that we played for a while.
Just to put it out there, I am not a guitar player, man. Our
David is actually our bass player.
Shout out to Champ, man. Our bajo player, man. He couldn't be here tonight, and so we're We're gonna try it.
We're gonna knock it out, brother.
We're gonna try it.
Es una mujer bonita la que anduve pretendiendo. La seguí por 8 meses y apenas me está queriendo. Chaparra de mi amor.
Chaparra de mi amor.
No me hagas sufrir ya tanto. Tú dices que a otras quiero y por ti yo ando penando. Te quiero, te quiero. Te adoro, te extraño. Y así mi vidita, yo te lo juro que te amo tanto.
That's what's up. Is that the songs like that remind y'all back whenever y'all got it started? Way back in the university high days?
Back I started playing, man. I want to say I was about 15 years old, man. Maybe about a sophomore. I don't know what that is. In high school, man. We back in the day, I mean, I was a huge fan of like Jaime Los Chamacos, Conjunto style, and that's what we would listen to, you know. And at that time, we would try singing some of those songs, and that's how it got started, man. And I would back then there was no YouTube. The internet isn't what it is now.
So who was the guy that taught you like your first chords?
The way it started, man. My dad loves music, man, and okay. I got my love for music kind of riding in his pickup, man. He had a 1970 something Ford pickup, 76, 78, something in that era. But man, I would ride in the pickup and he would listen to everything, man. Stuff from Grupo Más to Ramon Ayala to
Bronco.
There was Bronco. Was
my dad
huge.
used to listen to Bronco.
There was never a like
genre
genre discrimination, man. Like
yes.
he would listen to everything. Hometown Boys, man, that was one of my favorite. And I remember I listened to a Hometown Boys live tape so much, man. That thing broke. I took it apart, put it back together, kept listening to it, man. So this was back in the day. I remember I was so excited, man. My dad had bought a CD player with the big speakers and stuff.
Oh,
and,
wow, yeah.
One of the first CDs he got, man, was the Hometown Boys live CD. I was like, man, I had, you know,
Johnny Martinez, right? Is that his name?
I don't even have to mess with the tape anymore.
No, man, that was
the recording player.
They are the last name Martinez.
I think his name was Johnny, wasn't it?
Joe Martinez.
Joe Martinez.
Dude,
that dude
threw me
was
off
a
when
beast.
you said Johnny.
Man, my bad. Man, he was a beast.
Yeah, awesome accordion player.
all those
man.
He died on stage.
None of them are here no more, man. John,
no, dude.
Joe, Ricky, the drummer. I can't remember the brothers. Those are all gone. They're all gone.
I bought that cassette because his cassette came out, or CD, before he died. I couldn't wait because I was a big fan. I knew he went out and did his own thing. Third show in, or first show.
Yeah, it didn't last.
First show,
long, man.
third song. Died on stage.
It's kind of the way to go, man.
They like.
You're gonna go, man.
They like two things. They like manteca and cocaine.
You can't mix party, man.
You can't mix the two.
Yeah.
They like
You can't mix.
party.
It's one or the other, dude. Which one you want? Which one do you want?
They were a huge influence on me, man, on my playing. Jaime de Anda, Albert Zamora, La Tropa F, some of the old school guys like Tony de la Rosa, Rubén Vela, Mingo Saldívar, man. I think Mingo Saldívar is always left out, man. To me, he's like one of the greatest. He just kind of plays off of feeling, man.
Right.
So
did you like Steve Jordan?
Oh man, yeah, Steve Jordan. I mean,
that was an acquired taste, but boy, once you got him, you got him.
The thing about
it wasn't
Steve,
really good. Like lyrically, it was terrible.
To me, he was
musically, man.
yes.
That's just like that's who you listen to.
I
just
think what I've learned over time, man, is that there is music for the general audience. And then there's music for musicians.
That's yes. That's what Steve Jordan was.
And Steve Jordan, man, if you're a musician, you hear Steve Jordan stuff, it blows your mind.
Yeah,
man.
you'll get intimidated. It's like what am I going to do to follow that?
I mean, the stuff that he was doing with his accordion, man, not just, technique-wise in the studio, the effects that he would put on it. I mean, he just was taking it to a whole nother level. And I don't think people at that time were ready for that, man.
They were not. He was really... He's probably man-made for these times right now.
Well, you got those accordions now. Like I think it's a Roland. You know, a lot of these guys use. I think those.
And they're MIDI.
What's those?
Like a MIDI accordion. Yeah. Steve Jordan was doing all that stuff back then,
he was doing it
with
with
regular old Honer Corona too, man.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
Yeah, there's a band out there. They're kind of like a comedy show. They're called Los Tres Tristes Tigres. And so
Three Sad Tigers.
Three Sad, but
Three Sad Tigers.
They do
say
just
that
kind of like
say
that 3 times. But it's a real good show to watch them. They do like it's a funny. They do skits and they play music. Well, the guy's got an accordion, and he can do like they'll do Broncos skits and they'll play the keyboard on the accordion and all that. And as an older guy, I see that and that's who comes to mind. I was like, man, Steve Jordan was doing that with a friggin' Honer, man. Like Steve Jordan was making those effects, and this accordion already comes with all that.
The Jimi Hendrix of accordions.
Yes,
basically.
I guess so, man. Yeah, I think that's a good
It
way.
Really was.
He really was.
Because
he actually recorded Purple Haze,
and not
did.
just
Really
not just the
Born in East
accordion.
LA? You ever seen the movie Born in East LA? That's Steve Jordan.
That's Steve Jordan.
That dude played everything, man. Not just the accordion. He played every instrument, I believe.
The thing is, and it's obvious. I'm not fucking breaking any codes or whatever. He listened to different genres. It wasn't just Norteño Tejano.
Right.
He was listening to probably listening to Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Listening to music.
Yeah. I think they played Purple Haze in that movie.
Yes,
that's
he
what
did play Purple Haze.
Yeah, Purple Haze.
Because Gigi goes, "Excuse me while I work these lights."
Yeah,
remember that?
Yeah.
And then he gets all shocked. And
Yeah, man.
Yo, help me, man.
Yeah, help me.
Yeah, I wonder how many people watched that movie and I wondered who that.
Yes, I know.
We know who that guy was.
Yeah, well, I
oh,
didn't
man,
know.
that's
I didn't know
Jordan.
till later because that one. Hell, I was a teenager, so you guys had to be like 12 years old when that movie came out, dude.
Yeah, I think I saw that
watched it a
movie like
little
on
later,
VHS.
Right, yes.
Later on in life.
My dad actually got the DVD and he just wanted us to watch it. And,
That's a good movie,
Right.
man.
It's a must-watch. That one, La Bamba and Selena are Hispanic must-watches. And
Up
not
in
only
Smoke.
that, but you must quote them occasionally throughout
Every
the
blue
dialogue in your life. That's the way
and
it is.
occasionally Up in Smoke. That's a very good movie as well.
Sometimes I tell my wife, I don't know. I like it if you like it. She don't get it. She don't get it. No, some of you that watch Lena got it. But anyway, so when did the Jokers come about?
So the Jokers started.
And where's that drummer now?
We first started. It was Matt Fallon. The original when we first started making
Jokers
some
was
noise.
Matt Fallon.
Matt
was on
Fallon was on the
okay.
drums. Big
Yeah.
shout out to Matt if he's
Yeah,
watching.
what's up,
Yes.
Matt? The homeboy
Jimmy
Matt.
Aguirre
An OG.
on the bass. Also shout out to him if he's
another
serious.
OG, Jimmy.
Jimmy Aguirre, I believe he's playing with is
Sloppy Joe.
right
Yes.
now.
Yeah.
He used to be with Los Roaches with us.
And,
for a little bit.
Matt's up
Happy
there in
birthday to
Dallas.
Jimmy. I think his
Yes,
birthday
it
was
was.
a couple weeks
Last
ago,
week.
man. Happy
Yes.
birthday, Jimmy.
And so, and then David was playing the Bible sexo at that time, and I was playing the accordion, and like I said, man, we just started making noise, kind of messing around.
Shout out to Moses Villarreal, man. That's who taught me how to play the bajo, man.
Really? That's what
Yeah,
I was
man.
waiting to hear.
And going back,
Who was teaching you guys?
Moses, actually, at one point, I think everybody, minus Jimmy, but I think at one point we all went through Conjunto Villarreal.
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he played accordion for him,
Right.
and then when he was already gone, Matt was playing drums for him, and I was
I
learning.
remember Matt was playing with
and I was
yes.
learning how to play the I was mostly singing backups for Gerald, but but I was learning how to play the bajo. So then
That's a big task as a young kid singing backup. Not anybody can do that.
5-6 songs in, here you go, man. And I only knew like 2 chords like this, and you know, that's just kind of how it all.
I'm gonna go back a little bit, man. I think this story's kind of cool. Like I said, I kind of got my love for the music, listening to it in my dad's pickup. Well, he loved music so much, man. I remember it was a summer. We were at a garage sale. He saw this huge piano accordion, man, like an Urkel style.
Oh, right, yes.
Accordion.
Yes.
And he's like, I think he bought it like for $20 or something, man. And he's like, I'm gonna try. He wanted to learn.
Got you, yeah.
Well, it was during the summer, man. So he was working. He worked different shifts and stuff. And I was at home with the accordion, man. I took it out and I started listening to records, and I was picking stuff up by ear, man, on the piano accordion. And the songs that I was taking out were songs in the key of C, because they didn't have any of the black keys.
Yes.
And so I remember one night, man, one evening. That's Tragos Amargos Licor, man, by Ramon Ayala. It's in the key of C. I took that song, the melody everybody knows.
Yeah,
man,
that's
you
the
hear
main
that
part
piece,
of the song.
So
that's, man, the people's all going crazy.
I could not wait, man, for my dad to get home from work. He was working 3 to 11, man. I stayed up, and when he got home, I showed him, and he just kind of, looked, and he's like, man, maybe there's something here. And,
yes.
He took me
man,
to.
Man, your dad's always had your back, brother.
He has, man. So big shout out to my dad if he's watching this. He got in contact with Porfirio Sanchez.
Oh yeah,
and it's crazy because he was the first one that kind of showed me Ace and Company. He showed me my first scales and polkas on the piano accordion.
Oh, that's what he does. That's right.
Yeah, he gets down on that piano accordion, dude. Man. Yeah, he sure does.
I forgot about that.
And I learned a couple of polkas, man, and I would practice them, and I loved playing, man, but I wanted to learn how to play the button accordion.
Yes.
And
did you already know what you wanted, or what were you able to get? Were you already getting into accordions? Like, I know I want a Honer. I know a Gavinelli. I know I want this.
That's a whole, man. We could go. That's a whole nother story, man. We'll touch base on that here in a little bit. But so I started on the piano accordion. Learned a couple polkas. I wanted to do the button. My dad had another friend that, man, I can't believe this guy let him do this, but his name is Pedro Ramos, another accordion player here from the Waco area. He had an old button accordion, and he let my dad borrow it for a couple weeks. And now I tried doing the same thing on it, man, and it was a no-go, dude. The button accordion, the notes are just in different spots. It doesn't have a structure like a keyboard.
Yeah.
Like a piano. So that's where Conjunto Villarreal comes in, man. Moses. I met Moses, and he started giving me a few lessons, man, and I loved it, man. So anything that I was like a sponge at that time. I would just soak it up and practice it, and man, he showed me a few polkas and some scales, and they were playing some at the time. A big shout out to Gerald and Moses, Mario Sanchez,
dude,
Joe Davila, man, a big shout out to him.
Oh,
I mean, I started playing with Joe, and actually Joe helped us in the studio with this latest recording we had. So it's cool. All these musicians, man.
We've a couple more shout outs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, because it is Hispanic month, but man, we lost a couple like the Ramirez brothers, Andrew and Johnny, but also OGs. We're talking about the OGs. Also, the Johnny Bustamante I'm having him on in a couple of weeks. I'll talk to you. Maybe you can.
I'll try to make it.
But the OGs in Waco Tejano, man, guys like him and Maxie Bustamante for sure. All these guys. Like we talked about Moses. Those guys were the ones that started all of this. That the reason why. Maybe not the reason why we're here today, but they had their hand in it.
Yeah, the pioneers, man.
Yes.
There's no doubt.
Yes,
Moses,
all of them. Those guys you talked about in Gerald, those guys. Carlos Hernandez, that's old
big
son of a
shout
bitch.
out to him.
What's up, Carlos?
So man,
every time I come here, man, it reminds me of Carlos.
I love that dude.
But that's a story we'll tell off air, man.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
I did learn some polkas on the button accordion, man, and I was a big fan of Emilio, man, back in the day.
Oh, R.I.P.
And but I was at the time. I mean, I was maybe 13, 14 years old.
Yes.
But man, I mean, I would dress up in my Wranglers and my boots, my hat and stuff. So I looked a lot older, but he came to play at a club over here off of Highway 6 and Bosque. What was it?
You talking about?
The old. It used to be a country club.
Midnight Rodeo.
Midnight Rodeo. He went out there and played, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to go to the event.
Yeah.
But I knew they were going to get there early, and my dad was working, man. He, like I said, he always worked shift work. My mom took me out there, and we saw the bus, and I just got down, and I knocked on the door, and Emilio's accordion player was real animated, man. Old Pete Ibarra, man. So I kind of wanted to meet Pete and meet Emilio, and knocked on the door, man. And Emilio answered, man. Emilio answered the bus, and I kind of asked for Pete, and I think he said he was asleep or busy or something. But I wanted to talk to Pete about, hey, man, I want to buy an accordion, and what advice would you give me, this and that. And Emilio's like, man, you know what? He's a little busy right now, but you know what? Come during the show, man. You know what? You can come back and talk to the guys. And I was like, man. Emilio said, I'd love to, man, but I'm only 13 or 14. They won't let me in, man. He's like, you know what? Don't worry about that. He's like, you come, and he's like, come dressed up and just come through the back. He's like, now you better not drink or do anything like that. But hey, you come and you can come up and you'll go in with us.
This is the George Strait of Tejano, folks.
And so, man,
I was George Strait of Tejano at that time, was he not?
Yeah, it was. Man, he really was.
At that, he was.
I mean, it was like his name was El Rey del Rodeo, like that was the king of the rodeo.
Exactly, brother. Exactly.
So just how he said, man, I showed up that night a little early. I got to go in back through the back with them, and he introduced me to Pete, man. And I remember Pete, man, he had a sharp belt buckle, man. He was like custom made. It was an accordion.
Yes.
And to this day, I was like,
sick.
Man, I need to get me one of those made, man.
I'm surprised you don't.
He was so down to earth,
we
man.
ain't got that Pete Ibarra money yet, man.
That's what it is.
And he told me, he's like, hey, man, if you're get you a Hohner Corona 2 in the key of G. He's like, a perfect to get started with. That's a perfect.
Great words. Yes.
And
great advice.
So, man, that was a great night, man. I remember just seeing Emilio and Raulito. Raulito, man, that's one thing I will not forever forget, dude. He's back there talking to everybody. His hands, dude, his fingers were like a pack of like weenies, man. He was just so thick, man.
First time I saw him, I was right behind him. He had that same hand like this. And a big gulp can, and I walked behind him. I think smelled like nothing but some kind of whiskey.
They like their whiskey,
some kind of like Jim Beam or something. I said, "Woo!" There might be a little bit of soda in there, but whatever.
It was awesome, man. That was a night that I'll never forget, man.
Think about that. That night right there, dude. That night will never happen again. And think about that. That was Emilio and Raulito and Pete gave you that advice. Not just anybody had that moment, if any. You know what I'm saying, brother?
That was awesome, and so I mean, I never got to thank Emilio, man. But that was awesome, man. At that point, and so I told my dad about it. Hey, this is what Pete said. This would be perfect. And like a year or so later, man, maybe not even that long, man. We went to San Antonio and bought a Hohner Corona 2, man.
So where his was his advice? Was it the right one? Was it the right accordion for you?
It is it's a really good accordion to start off with because you're able to play a lot of polkas that are in like the key of C, G, easy keys. You're not getting into a whole. It's simple.
Yes.
And so if somebody would ask me, a G accordion, I use the E accordion a lot now just for singing purposes, but. So that's kind of where as far as what accordion I got and how I got started, man, is through that. And I continued playing with Moses with that Hohner accordion. Learned a few polkas, kind of learned a little bit, and then Johnny tells this story every time we play, man. That Hohner accordion went through Johnny Bustamante, right. Yeah. That Hohner accordion went through a couple. It went through hell and back, dude. One time I was playing with Conjunto Villarreal. I would play a few polkas. I would set my accordion down, and I would kind of roadie, right?
Right.
Well, one night, man, I set my accordion down, and I set it next to one of those Par 64 huge lights.
Oh,
well, man, that light was stayed on for so long.
I don't think these new musicians know what those are. are, man.
That accordion
hand.
That accordion caught on fire, man. What? All I saw was Moses had my accordion man was banging it on the floor. I was like, man, why is he banging my accordion?
Gosh.
Well, it had caught on fire, man. The lacquer on the accordion.
Yes, wow.
And so
it probably looks sick, but still.
So David, his dad used to have a body shop, man, and so we sanded it down and primered it and stuff. I painted that accordion so many times, man, and so
the original color that we painted it, man, was because that's when those jokers were starting.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, man, let's make this thing wild, man, and I was kind of getting into doing a little paint body work.
Yes.
We sanded it down, everything, man. We painted it orange with purple metal flake.
Now we're talking.
And that's what Johnny remembers, man. One time I was walking out the creek back to, because I would live on Gurley, and Johnny would practice over here at his dad's house, and so it was kind of a shortcut to go down Gurley and go through the creek, and the practice room was right there. So I went through the creek with the accordion on my back, and Johnny was right outside, kind of outside of the room. And he sees me coming out of the creek, and now every time we play, he's like, "Oh yeah, this little boy, he had a little orange accordion on his back," and yeah, I mean, it's a true story, man. I kind of showed Johnny Bustamante what I had learned, and he gave me a couple of albums, and so I played with Johnny a few years. Johnny Bustamante played with some guys out of Temple, Texas, Los Munguia brothers.
Oh yeah, shout out to the Munguia. I forgot about those OGs too. I forget about Bell County.
Conjunto style, man.
Yes, I love those guys, man. Great dudes, man.
Ended up playing with Eddie Guerrero for a little bit, man.
Really?
Out of San Antonio.
I had no idea.
When he recorded his albums.
I had no idea.
Apparently, there was an Ernie Monte.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Ernie.
Pedro about Mrs. Patrick's class, and he first started playing accordion. We sat next to each other in the back of the class, and he was so excited to start playing accordion. He used to tell me about songs he was learning. Stay humble.
Yeah, man. That's cool, man. I had forgot about Miss Patrick's. Yeah, I remember that now, and that's one thing that, man. You know what? I mean, at that time, the accordion, the bajo, the Tejano music was not cool, man. But I didn't care.
Dude, I thought it was cool. I wish I could play it. I thought it was cool. If you knew how to, man.
We were talking about this though the other day, because we were like, man, when we were in high school, we were kind of our own little thing, because we were in the mariachi,
Man above another brother?
Yeah, absolutely.
Most kids in high school were listening to rap music and all this, but
Paulo Abdul.
We were our own little thing. Like, we're our own little group. We're playing mariachi. We were hanging out. Shout out to Jose Nino. What's up, brother?
That's another part of the story. Yeah. So during all this going on in high school, man, I remember they were like, man, there's this guy that has a mariachi, man. He's really smart. He's really good, man. I was like, man, what? My world was Gerald Villarreal, Moses Villarreal, and Johnny Bustamante. That was my school, man. That's where I was. I was like, man, who is this guy, man? And Jose Nino, dude, is I mean, that dude. If you leave your car door open and you can hear that ring, that dude will tell you what key that thing is in, man.
Wow, one of those guys.
I thought he was just bullshitting one day, and I had my accordion with me. He told me, "Oh yeah, it's an E flat or whatever," and I hit. I was like, "Sure enough, man, it was right on."
Wow.
So I joined the mariachi, he joined the mariachi, and that was part of our mentorship or where we learn, man. As far as singing wise, playing wise, learned guitar there, learned about harmony, harmonizing. So
I think he's the only one that still kind of like intimidates me whenever, like we played in Houston and
not too long ago,
and he came to see us play. He came to see us to hang out, whatever.
Yeah.
But he's watching us, and we're singing. He's watching us harmonize.
He knows.
He taught us how to harmonize.
If you're off, he'll give you one of those.
Yeah, and he said that while I'm like, man, I start to man, I can't look at him when I'm singing, man, because I know he's like judging. But I mean, Nino is one of those guys, dude. We would be.
I forgot about that guy. I remember him.
We would be in the car, man. This what I were like sticks out to me. We were in the car, and I can't remember I want to say it was a Bobby Pulido song. And he liked it. He was like, I think the mariachi should do that song.
Desvelado?
I want to say it was a ranchera. I think it was a ranchera song. Because, the accordion part for Pedro, and all this, And at the time, I was kind of the lead singer of the mariachi. He was the main singer, but he was kind of pushing.
I remember y'all were doing that.
He was pushing me to do that.
I remember y'all were doing that.
the car ride. I'm not kidding, man. Like from the song came on at like George's, and by the time we got to University High School, back when University was on Spate,
Yeah, I remember that. Yes.
He got off the car. We went into the practice room, and he wrote first, second, third parts for the trumpet.
All the music,
first,
man.
second, third parts for the violin. Wrote all the guitar music.
Oh my
God!
gosh.
I was like, golly, this dude is just.
And that was right here in Waco, Texas.
That was right here. Like, yeah, that guy.
People just don't know.
He's been one of our. He is probably our biggest mentor.
That's awesome.
And so
it's awesome to have people like the people that we have had, people that we've mentioned, to have to run across their paths in life, and how we all interacted with.
And I hope I don't miss anybody, man. But yeah, I mean, everybody involved with Conjunto Villarreal, Johnny Bustamante. I mean, they had how do you say? I cut my teeth.
Yes,
with those bands, man. And at the same time that I was playing with a lot of these groups, we were kind of doing our own thing, man. We would get together at Matt Filon's house. He had his drums set up there, and we would kind of just start messing around, man. And little by little, we started putting songs together. And
R.I.P. I forgot what was his dad's name? I forget.
Sexton.
Sexton, man. R.I.P. That was a cool dude. I love that dude, man. He was he's talking about somebody supporting his son too,
We started playing. We started playing around, and we wanted to get a little bit more serious. And while we were playing, at the same time, there was another kid in town, man. Probably one of the greatest musicians I've ever known, man. He played guitar at church, and I heard he was picking up the accordion. I was like, dang. So at that time, not too many people were playing the accordion.
Yeah.
And man, he picked it up, and he was a beast on that thing.
Who's that?
That is Mr. Mario Vigil.
Oh, of course.
He started when we
the
started
vigilante.
getting a little bit more serious about recording some stuff. He's like, hey man, I can record y'all. He had like a little bitty board, and he had some stuff.
He's one of the reasons why I have this studio today.
And
he has a big part of that. Go ahead.
He recorded us, man, at his mom's house.
Yes.
Was it out there in
North Waco
Elma? He stayed in the country. He was
Waco.
out there in the country somewhere. But he had us in his living room, in the bathroom, and we were singing in the hallway and stuff. And we got a demo done with him, man. And
it probably wasn't bad.
It was, dude. That demo. We ended up going to Monterrey, Mexico, with a friend of ours just to go visit, just to go hang out. I mean, we were a whole bunch of 19-year-old kids and had never gone, so we went to Mexico. I had a CD, man, a demo of Los Jokers.
Yeah.
And we went to this huge club, man, 2-story club, and they're playing Tejano music in there, man.
Wow.
Like I had not seen
like
a
keyboard
crowd
or
like
conjunto?
that. They were playing everything. They're conjunto. They were playing Tony de la Rosa in Monterrey, and people were going crazy, man.
Wow.
There were like groups of people dancing together, almost like what you would see like line dancing and stuff
Yes.
here over there, and they all had like clubs and stuff, and just dancing to the music, and they would play. I remember hearing Rey Reina out there, that cumbia.
Rey Reina was a beast. Another guy nobody really didn't hit, but he was a beast.
And so they were playing like hardcore Tejano music over there, man.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. So we were having a great time, and I had that CD with me. I made myself to the front of the stage, and this, it wasn't even a band, dude. It was a DJ.
Right.
His name's Tejano Music. Lino Noé. Lino Noé and Tejano Music. I remember I reached over, man, and I kind of got his attention, and I handed him the CD, man, and he took it, and that was that, man. We got back, and I mean, I was like, whatever, He probably gets all kinds of stuff all the time. Well, a couple weeks later, man, he gives us a call, dude, and he said he wanted us to go play in Monterrey, that he liked the music.
Wow.
And he said that the song was the #1 requested song.
No way. What song was it?
It was like a Joker's. It was a melody.
It was a potpourri.
It was a melody.
Some folks here in Waco have heard it, man. We did Por Esa Calle Vive, El Troquero, and El Chubasco. And so, yeah, man, that took us all the way to Mexico, man, a recording that we did with Mario Vigil.
That's wild, dude, man.
So everybody in this, everybody had a part, man. Musicians helping each other out. I mean, it's just kind of cool how it came together.
Mario was like 14 at the time.
Yeah, dude. Man. I can go on and on about that dude. One of my best friends, without getting emotional. But man, what a gift we had with that son of a bitch.
Yeah, Mario was
gift
man.
we had. And another thing, and I thought about this before. Just having him was a gift. The whole music part was just a bonus.
Yeah.
Just the dude himself.
He was funny, man.
Yeah, he was funny, man.
You was one of those guys you want to spend time with and ideas. Spend a lot of time with him here in the studio creating music. When the reason why I got this studio, because he said he had, remember, he said, yeah, but remember you had one, Mario. I said, he goes, man, I'd like to get one. Because, man, I've thought about that. He goes, we should do that. He goes, and, he should never tell me, because I'm one of those guys, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. I was like, I'm going to fucking go ahead and do it. And Mario said, you really going to try to do that? He goes, yeah, I am. So, as soon as I got this thing going, dude, we got, I don't know how, I might be exaggerating, but about 5 or 6 projects already in hand, ready to rock, people already ready to come in, and because we just, I'm a hustler, and Mario was a hustler too, and we made it work. We recorded all those people and got their stuff out, and we were figuring out as we went. But man, those times were priceless.
Yeah, that
priceless, man, dude. I love that dude so much, and but like I said, just the whole music part was just a bonus, and he was a phenomenal musician. But a fucking kick-ass cool dude to be with.
He helped us record those tunes, man. I want to say we recorded about maybe 3 to 5 tunes.
Played bass and drums just as nasty as the accordion.
Yeah, absolutely.
Played guitar just as nasty as he played the drums.
The saxophone, man.
So dude, he started doing that too. I was like, dang, dude. One of those God just blessed him with God blessed him with all that talent. And another thing, check this out. At the very end, I was with good. Remember we missed each other one time.
Yeah, we went to go see him.
I was going up there, and I remember I went up there the weekend right before he passed, and that Mario we knew was not the same Mario. I mean, he was a man of God.
Yeah,
I'm telling you with all my heart, he was.
Yeah,
he was a man of God. He got it. And I just that's what I believe. But I'm telling you, if you do believe in God, which I do, I think he's with him because I think he changed.
He did. He did change quite a bit.
And that makes me feel better.
Yeah. I mean, the dude was young, man. I mean,
he was really, he was like 34, wasn't he?
We all did, done things when we were, so it's when we went to go see him, he did change quite a bit, man.
Well, dude, it was not the same dude. He was a man, but at the same time, dude, the Mario that I've been describing the whole time was the kick-ass dude that you want to hang out with. I had so many laughs, dude. I think about him, if not daily, every other day, and every time I do, it's not sad. I'm laughing about some bullshit that we did.
Yeah, just
I'm laughing about the shit that he did. I can tell you.
He loved
some stories, dude, about that dude.
He loved his Slurpees, man. When we would go on the road and we would always get a big old huge. I don't know, just so many
little corks of them, right?
Yeah.
No, man, I know. So young, dude. R.I.P. And I think as far as the musicians go, the people, our clique, was that the first one that passed? But no, Johnny, I mean, but that really wasn't our clique. He kind of was, because I played with Johnny, but we didn't really hang.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think he's
but Mario and then we hung,
Yeah, of our, I guess, generation of musicians. Yeah, he's the first one to go.
Man, dude. Telling you, dude, what, like, there's musicians and there were just guys that were just smarter than your average musician. And he was just had that gift to pick up music and different instruments. He was just made for that. He was just made for, anyway.
So,
go ahead.
No, well, he helped us get over there, man, to Monterrey, and I think going over there and playing, man, in front of that type of crowd, it fired us up, man. We wanted to really push harder, and I was I was playing with the Jokers. I was still helping out Pete Munguia and Los Munguia brothers, and we were recording an album there at Joey Records with Los Munguia.
Wow, kick ass, brother. That's pretty big too, brother.
The sound engineer there was from Dilley, Texas. He's like, hey man, there's a band out of Dilley that needs an accordion player. Would you be interested in playing? I'm like, sure, I'll check it out. Well, the band was called Grupo Rayo. The singer was from the old Truenos de Texas, and they're from Dilley, Texas. And so I went down there, started playing and practicing with them. Well, it ends up that they were Johnny Lee Rosas's family, man. Like, Johnny Lee Rosas was married to one of the uncles, and so we would open up for Macizo.
Oh yes.
And so I got to meet Johnny, man.
Johnny Beast, golly, what a beast musician.
And we would talk in between shows and stuff, and he was like, hey man, I like the way you play. If you ever decide to do something, hey, give me a call, man. Like, I'll help you out.
Yes.
And I was like, wow, man, Johnny said.
Especially him, that dude was a monster.
So I came back home and I told these, I was like, hey man, Johnny Lee said, if we want to do something, he'll help us record, he'll help us. And so that's where it transformed from Los Jokers to Masivo.
May I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Just real quick. Max or Johnny?
Max or Johnny?
Max Baca or Johnny?
They have different styles.
That's what I'm saying. It's way different styles.
I mean,
it's way too different.
Johnny Lee is kind of
he's a shredder,
rocker.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, but
Max isn't. But he's very traditional. But it's a fucking. He has a sound that's like that your ear wants more of.
Yeah, yeah. They're two different styles, man. But they're both tremendous bajo sexto players. And that's one thing that, man, I'm glad we did what we did. But when we met Johnny, when he helped us record, he changed the style a little bit.
Right.
And I was writing music at the time, and a lot of the lyrics kind of they worked with what Johnny kind of wanted to change us to.
Right.
And so that's kind of where Masivo came from.
And
that's
Johnny
where the style changed.
Johnny came from Intocable, no.
Johnny played with
okay, it's been a long time. Yeah. I wasn't sure if I was right or not.
And he's back with them now.
Oh, really? I had no idea. That's kick-ass. Dude, talk about dudes that just...
He had actually just gone back to Intocable when he started working with us.
Do y'all remember when Intocable was a keyboard band?
I remember when they came out, man. That first, that
there
first
was an album before that.
Yeah, it was an album before.
I heard about
and
that.
It was, and I had that reason how I got it because there's my father-in-law's trophy. Remember, he was a DJ. He used to give me endless promotional CDs. If they gave him one, they gave him three.
Okay.
So he just had tons of them. He gave me one at Intocable, and it was keyboard.
It's hard to think about it now, man. But Johnny told us, hey, don't get discouraged, whatever. He's like, man, you know how many record labels told us no? How many people told us no, that you guys aren't Tejano, you guys aren't Norteño. It's never going to work.
Now they're almost like at one time they were a staple sound of Norteño.
It's like you're not going to, the Tejanos aren't going to like you. The Norteños aren't going to like you, man. You're too much in the middle.
Yes.
You think about like, man, who in their right mind would say no to that now?
I know.
When Johnny Lee came into the picture, man, it was a crazy time because, I mean, we were still young, man, and we were trying to do this, and he's like, hey, man, you guys are going to change the style a little bit, so it would be nice if you can kind of make some of our shows, man. That way you can kind of sit there and watch and kind of see the style, the different. So when they would come and play in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, he would let us know, hey, we're going to be there such and such date. We would meet up with them, and we would get to go backstage, man, hang out backstage with Intocable, with all the other.
Yes.
We got to meet La Firma. So I got, La Pantera, the bajo sexto player for La Firma, and Johnny Lee just kind of trading licks, like kind of showing each other what stuff like that is just amazing.
You'll never.
I remember hearing Ricky from Intocable and Louis Padilla singing. They're working in the studio, like both of them in the booth, and just to be able to be there, dude, like a fly on the wall, like just listen to that, like wow, at that moment, because you didn't realize how cool that was, man, to be able to experience that. But at the same time, we were changing the style a little bit.
Yeah,
we went from chamacos.
You were just trying to figure it out. You trying to figure it. You just started playing.
Were.
You're just figuring it out.
And I mean, when we recorded, was it three albums?
Technically 4, but three.
Let's hear something
with Masivo and.
Which one can we hear? Can we hear Masivo?
Man, it's been a while.
I don't know,
okay, I better not.
Don't put us on the spot on those songs, man.
It's been.
I mean, that's kind of one of the reasons too that we kind of left. Like, the thing was Masivo was its thing. It was Masivo was Matt Fulano was already on bajo.
Yes,
and Matt switched over to the bajo section.
Monster bajo player.
Yes, he is.
We had Teto on drums, Teto Perez, Savi on the
these
on the
guys
bass.
They were from Austin. Yeah, these guys. I think they were at the time. I think their band had won or had been like runner up
on Sábado Gigante.
Which one album was that where Mario's head was?
That was the
first Masivo.
He came out.
What's the word?
Photoshop,
What's the word?
Photoshop, man. That, remember we were talking about the stolen bass?
Yeah.
So that's
was that when it all started?
That had something to do with it. Yeah,
that had something to do with it, man.
It was superimposed is the word.
Yeah, but that band Masivo was those guys from Austin. Like I said, they had been runner ups or they had won a Sábado Gigante contest.
Okay.
And after they won the Sábado Gigante contest, their lead singer was like, "Well, man, I'm TV famous."
Something happened,
and he went off and did his own solo thing. So that's how we ended up with those guys.
I got you.
And I met the drummer off. This is how long ago it was. There was a website for accordion players called Reyes Accordions. And there was like a forum.
Those are the chat forums.
Oh yes.
Yeah, like a chat forum.
Chat forums.
And I met him through there, man. We started talking, and it was a great run, man. It was fun. We got to open up for tons of bands.
Dude, those are different times.
The industry was changing, man. What happened with us too, Masivo? Those guys, half of the band was from Austin. We were promised with the label that we were with that the CDs. This is back when you would go to Walmart on a Tuesday and all the new CDs are there.
Right. Yes.
That our stuff was gonna be out in the stores, man.
That was a
Walmart,
big deal.
Distribution.
City. Yeah, that was a big deal, brother.
Sam Goody.
At that time, man, everything was changing. Internet, what was it? The Napster,
MP3s
all that stuff.
now, no more CDs.
The digital platform.
The distribution deal fell through.
Yeah, it didn't mean anything anymore because anybody else could get it. You're not going to get any income from it either.
The CD came out, but it wasn't being distributed. They're like, oh, well, if you want to sell, you have to sell to your friends and
CD
family.
Baby.
I was like, man, I could have recorded an album and did that. I wanted to, we wanted it to get distributed.
Yeah. And one thing is that we were going all the way to New Mexico to record.
We got to, another. We got to record at the studio owned by Los Huracanes del Norte.
I remember that, dude. That was a big deal.
Another experience, man.
So,
we got to meet
the
those
Northside
guys.
Hurricanes. To
have to go all the way to New Mexico to record, we were young and we were all broke,
Of course, that's
it was a huge sacrifice.
That's the life.
It took a lot of sacrifice to go all the way to New Mexico to
playing gigs and knowing the money's going to go right.
To spend the time there, because it'd take days at a time to sit there and put an album together, and then for it to be like, well, it's no one's buying CDs anymore, but you still owe us 3 more CDs.
Yes.
So, it just
that sucks. But good thing, dude. Nowadays, you're your own record label. It's whatever you can write your own ticket. There's ways of you getting. If you don't have a booking agent, there's websites people will almost book for you nowadays.
right.
You're your own promoter, you're your own publicist. It's up to you because everything you're going to do, a record label's going to do the same thing too.
Right.
Only thing is they've got the deeper pockets.
Well, I think that, like for us though, at that particular time is, unfortunately, we were one of the bands stuck in the middle.
Yep, yep.
You know, we were right at the end of all of that, and then you know everyone was moving to digital platforms, but digital platforms still weren't. You know,
it wasn't what it is now.
Was what it is now. Like you know, remember Intocable put out instead of putting out an album, they only put out 2 songs.
Singles.
And that was going like I think to like Apple Music at the time.
Got you.
And we were like, man, what are we?
Which is kind of that's what people were doing right now.
Yeah,
they're innovators, I guess.
But at the time, you know, you didn't think about that. You know, we're like, man, what are we gonna do? You know, and it just it was a tough time for us. And one of the biggest things I think too is, yes, Masivo was a good band and great musicians. You know, we had good. You know, we had Johnny Lee backing and producing us.
Yes.
You know, so the quality of the music was great, but at that time also you had Solido, you had Iman, you had Duelo, you had
the competition was
it
threw us in a big pool with a lot of big fish.
Yeah, you know, and you had
deep pockets.
And guys that you know not to put us down or anything, but guys that were vocally superior, to what we were doing, you know, to what we were doing. So we just got kind of like
it was a learning.
I got you. No, I know what you're saying, brother.
It was a learning experience. We learned from it, you know. But everything was changing, not just with the music industry, but then too that style that we kind of changed to.
Right.
So many other people were doing the same thing, man, and so it got really saturated. And then life happened, man. I ended up getting married. The guys from Austin, they were kind of a little upset that the CD hadn't come out the way it was supposed to come out. And really, the band just got parted.
That's a lot of people's same story, though. You know, even though it just really is that change, that transition. That was a lot of people had the same story too. That sucks. But here's the thing, that, like I said just now. Now you know you don't really need a record label, and you guys are putting out whatever you want to put out without any kind of obligation.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
So, almost like what's Sonny right now. What do you think about Sonny's resurgence, especially here at West?
He's marketing himself really, really well, man. And we're talking about styles. He's got his niche, man. I mean, really, there's not a whole bunch of bands doing.
He had it and stuck to it.
What he does, you know, and not anybody can do it.
I hear that sound, I knew that Sonny right away. Yeah. He did it. I mean, and one time, everybody was like, that sound was getting like to where everybody was doing it, but he still stuck to it because why? Because he wrote that book. He was one of the
originals,
He wrote that book.
Yeah, that style.
And then now it's gotten to where you hear, it's like one of those guys that I know Eddie Van Halen, and not saying he's Eddie Van Halen, but what I'm saying, I can hear him playing, or even Billy Gibbons. Hear those guys and know exactly who's playing guitar.
Right.
I hear that. I hear a couple of notes of Sonny. That's Sonny right there from the Attack alone.
Yeah.
He's getting into some really good shows, some good venues. I mean, shoot, he did Westfest.
Yes, people love him over there.
And that's another guy just doing it on his own, you know. And I think that's where, like, you know, we've gotten I wouldn't say necessarily like pushback, but a lot of people be like, man, why you guys aren't playing as Masivo anymore?
Yeah.
You know, but that's the reason is that, man, we're not Masivo anymore. We're not. You asked us to play those songs right now. I guarantee you, how long has it been since we played a Masivo
song? It's been a long time, man. Yeah.
We haven't touched those songs.
Play something y'all would normally play. What do y'all feel like playing? Something y'all would play like at a...
Man, you put me on the spot on this guitar again, man.
At a Zamora County, because you're a bass player, right?
Why'd you break your hand on purpose, man? Man, come on, man.
I didn't break it. I got it fixed.
Oh, well, why'd you get your hand fixed?
Hopefully I'll get to play guitar in 3 days or 2 more days.
I'm kind of mad at Sammy, man. I called him and he didn't answer, man. I needed a rescue, man. You know.
Whatever y'all feeling. I'd love to hear some accordion.
We did a ranchera earlier, right?
Whatever y'all want to do.
D.
What'd you say?
A D. This is not so much a Masivo tune or anything. This is just a tune that's always requested at the shows.
Got it.
Ese coco que quiere Lupe, de la palma lo arranco yo. Ese coco que quiere Lupe, de la palma lo arranco yo. Que sí, que no, ese coco rayado lo quiero yo. Que sí, que no, ese coco rayado lo quiero yo. Ayer tarde pasé a tu casa, me dijeron que estabas mal. Ayer tarde pasé a tu casa, me dijeron que estabas mal. Que sí, que no, ese coco rayado lo quiero yo. Que sí, que no, ese coco rayado lo quiero yo.
Get down on that thing, man.
We got some maracas or something.
We need it, man. We need where the maracas at, man. Well,
That's what I'm talking about. I love that song.
we play that for the gringos, man.
A little Ruben Bella for you.
Sure, dude, that song has become a standard.
That's a universal.
Standard. It is, dude. It is. Dude. I love that, dude. That's crazy. Song, it just steadily gets love whenever any DJ plays it on the dance floor. Just one of those songs.
Yeah, we play that, man, and normally, that dance floor get pretty
It
packed.
is. It is. Are there any? What songs are a must whenever you're playing?
It depends on the crowd, man. Like it's funny, man. When
Any event, right or no?
yeah, it's one of those things, man. Like it's like whenever you're playing in front of like Raza from Mexico, like
Right.
like that crowd, like if the crowd is like from like Zacatecas,
Yes.
they want to hear El Corrido de los Pérez.
Okay.
They want to hear that song. If they're like kind of like from that San Luis area, they want to hear El Carretonero.
Okay,
If you play in front of kind of like a more Tejano, San
You gotta
Antonio
play your
crowd,
puño de tierra,
Puño de Tierra,
your Cruz de Madera,
the one
your
Tragos Amargos.
Tragos Amargos is a huge
like
one.
so it just kind of depends.
If you wasted days, wasted nights, Yolanda.
Oh, for sure.
Last Teardrop Falls, man. That's the Tejano favorite, man. That's
Yes.
Hey baby, ¿qué pasó?
Speaking of Yolanda, I got one. Albert or Jaime.
I'm gonna go with Team Hyman, man. That's
Jaime.
You know what, man? When I was
Because they were close. Remember, that was at one. They were the one.
you know
competition.
This is why I'm Team Hyman, man.
I forgot about that.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm Team Hyman,
that
man.
was very disappointing, man.
Because
Big Dog.
Johnny Lee, man. Johnny Lee told us a story, back when he was working with us or whatever, that Albert Zamora was playing like Excelencia, like
kinda
that
Excelencia
keyboard.
style.
Oh yeah.
Keyboard style, and I can't remember who, and it might have been Johnny, in that.
Yeah.
Say, hey,
group,
man,
that
why
sort of
don't you
man.
kind of play like Jaime Los Chamacos?
Yeah, that Cajun, played some more Cajun
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah.
man. And that his words were like, "Oh man, that music sucks, man. I ain't."
Wow.
And then, it's because Johnny was playing with Jaime, right?
Yeah,
Johnny Lee was playing with Jaime Los
Oh,
Chamacos for a
really?
little
Wow.
bit, yeah.
Wow.
So that's how that.
He's I don't know if he the originator of Yolanda. He's on that album Yolanda. The original. Yeah, that's Johnny
So
Lee.
that,
Rosas.
Oh, wow.
so Albert kind of talked his mess about conjunto music, and then a few months later, he's out playing, conjunto
Because
music,
almost
so-
the same style, dude.
so-
Matter of fact, when that one his biggest song,
Prieta Casada.
yes, when that came out, I thought that was Jaime for a little bit because it sounded so much like
Vocally, they're a little
Yes.
bit.
That's what
Yes.
I was gonna say. Is now vocally, man. Albert, it's a little soft, man. Like I want to hear some vocals like with some nuts. Somebody
Have
singing
you
nice and
seen
strong.
Jaime's new band? Have you
And
heard
not,
it?
not.
I have not.
I don't want to say that
That's a good
to
Really?
like
yeah.
talking bad about Albert because I mean he's damn good, man.
Yes.
I mean,
You'd probably be like, "Who are those guys?" Trying to
exactly.
talk shit about.
But I would. damn, man, I think I got to go with Los Chamacos too, man. Jaime de Anda. But with that being said, I mean, Albert did some really awesome stuff, man. That CD, Tu Cárcel, when he did that whole, I mean, both guys did this where the whole one side of the album is back to back to back nonstop.
That was on cassette, man. Remember that I remember when that
El Embrujado and
what was the name of that?
That was back whenever you bought CDs, you bought them bootleg at the flea market.
Well, I remember when that cassette came out, man. That Jaime de Anda cassette. And I can't remember the name of the album.
Like, they got those big drumsticks, and they're standing in front of a fair or something, or.
Well, the one where the whole A side was just like a nonstop.
Right,
so
right.
They both did that.
Yeah.
So I mean, both of them are really, really good, man. It's hard to choose. I mean, back when Albert Zamora came out, man, it was. I mean, he blew your mind, man. The stuff that he was doing. I remember seeing him live at Cameron Park East. I think he played with Oscar G.
Emilio or Jay?
I'm a big Emilio fan, man. Jay, I mean, not to say anything. I mean, he's damn good vocalist, man.
Yeah,
but
you can't take nothing away.
I think
for sure.
Emilio's a little bit more my style, man.
Who's the best David Lee singer?
Oh man,
I would probably say Emilio or
Ram too had some days too.
See, man, here's where I'm different from everyone else.
Right.
Like my biggest, like where I liked every single Musicales album was when Marcos was a singer.
Dude, golly, you ain't kidding. He wasn't as dominant.
They put out some really good.
He wasn't
tunes,
as dominant as Ram or Emilio or
or
Oscar G.
Or Jay or
yeah,
nothing
like that.
Had his style,
he had his, because I mean,
smooth.
you can't take away Jay. Jay is Jay,
monster, man.
but
the voice.
But it's just I don't know. I feel like Marcos had a little bit of a norteño-ish sound.
His Spanish was authentic.
Like
he
Una
pronounced
Noche
everything.
Más, that whole album, and that was just hit after hit.
All those,
hit after hit after hit.
One of my favorite Tejano tunes, man, is Marcos Orozco with Los Fabulosos Cuatro, man. How's it go? Guiando, siguiendo los pasos. That's old Marcos Orozco, man. Leando, siguiendo los pasos. He's a darn good vocalist, man.
They're not. So these are not nowhere near the same. But David Lee or Flacco. Because one's musically better than the other. One's known more than the other.
Yeah, I mean, I think Flacco is one of those guys that's a musician's musician.
Yes. So is David Lee.
I go with Flacco, man.
But I'm saying, like, in the sense that, like,
it is what it is.
You hear a lot of accordion playing now, I think it's like put it to you like this, like you hear Sonny, but a lot of people don't know that Sonny's style comes from Nick Villarreal.
I didn't know that.
You listen to old Nicky Snick albums,
right?
And all those licks.
That's another guy that probably doesn't get a lot of recognition, man. Is old Nick Villarreal.
Nick Villarreal.
Man.
I don't know him.
Never heard of Nick Villarreal? Man, you got to YouTube El Mayor de San Antonio. El Mayor of San Antonio.
Yeah.
By Nick Villarreal. You got to check that out.
Yeah, man. What was that guy? What was that mayor's name?
Henry Cisneros.
Henry Cisneros.
Oh yes.
Yeah, when he got caught with his hands on the honey pot.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. Well,
how about that dude that Carlos always talks about? That bony dude from Corpus.
Boney. Oh, yeah, Boney Mauricio. There's a story behind Boney Mauricio, man. One time
he's a beast. I love it.
Jose Nino, we were in the mariachi. His brother has a Tejano band in Freeport, Texas, or Angleton.
Shout out to Oscar.
They were called La Fiera, and they were down there playing in San Antonio, and we went down there to go check them out. And man, I think I'm gonna say I was 21 because I was drinking.
Right.
And we were being silly in the hotel, man. I think I was running up and down the damn hallways in my boxers with my accordion or something, man. And then down the hallway.
He's doing that for the visual, ladies.
That was pre-Instagram.
That was for the ladies.
That was way before Facebook and Instagram. Thank God, but. These guys, man, come around the corner in jeans and big, those big, like member jacket, the black with cowboy hats. Well, it was the hometown boys, man. They were staying at that same hotel, and I was looking like a dummy over there running around just being. And so he saw I had an accordion, and they invited us to his room, man.
No way.
And he he grabbed my accordion.
So you
and
met
started
Joe
messing
Martinez
around.
and other guys? And you calzones.
No, well, no,
this
this was back. This
He had
was
on
when,
boots, man. He had on boots.
This was when Bonnie had joined
Okay.
the Hometown Boys.
Oh, God, my bad.
That was
Because
like
Bonnie would play with the Hometown Boys for a few years.
Idea.
that was one album, right?
Yeah, he did.
No
One album,
way.
one or two albums
I
with
gotta
Hometown
hear
Boys.
that. I never knew
That to me, man. I
'Cause
mean,
he's
Joe
a beast.
Joe Martinez was awesome. And
Oh,
to
yes.
me, that's the original Hometown
Oh,
Boys.
yes.
But the album that Hometown Boys put out with Bonnie Mauricio is probably one of the best albums they ever
Did he
put
sing
out,
too?
man. He sang too and played the
Oh
accordion.
my God, I gotta hear
Well,
that.
he's the Barrandales del Puente and Tu Delirio. That album is the one he did with the Hometown
I'm gonna
Boys.
check that out, dude.
Yeah, he's a master accordion man.
Oh, he is, brother. Don't get that man. I wish.
But to answer your question of the
Go ahead.
Flaco or David, David Lee Garza, I would go more with the Flaco more because my style is. I like that dirtiness, man.
Yes.
That stank.
I know what you're talking about.
And I
yes.
like it when David Lee Garza does it, but he doesn't do it very often.
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a few songs.
He's
that
very.
He's a
perfect.
technical,
Yes.
he's like,
Yes, exactly.
it's like listening to
He'll
Boston,
tell you.
he's like,
Yes, it is.
He's on the production
Yes,
side.
he'll tell you when you're doing your
of
part
the-
wrong.
Yeah.
He's that. He has that ear.
And Flaco's more like he just plays what he's feeling.
Follow
He
me.
gets,
He's like,
he
yeah,
gets
follow
down,
this
you know?
jam. I
Kind
hear
of like
you.
a Mingo Saldivar, kind of that same mode, you know.
If you're gonna play that wrong note, play it loud.
Yes, there
You know. Yeah.
I ain't
Oh,
mad
watch
at
out,
you.
man. What was that?
What was that?
It's the aliens.
Oh, the
man.
flash.
No,
It's my electrical worker in here.
no. So yeah,
but,
I guess I'd be on Team Flaco on that one. man.
Because I've even today as a bass player, man, I'll play a bad note, man. I'll stay in it.
Music
You know?
it's art. It's all, dude. I'm telling you, it's art. Some people can play it perfect, and that's good. But I just like to play music,
Yeah.
and it's not going to be perfect when Isaac plays it. But I'm there to have fun. I'm not there to show you how technical I am. I'm there to have fun, and that's my therapy.
I think we had a little bit of sound issues this past gig. We did a which shout out to Pride and Joy, man. They played this
maybe
private
a
gig
shout
with
out
us
to
too,
Chris,
man. Those dudes, man.
Brian Joy's I didn't get those guys
Golly,
back.
man.
He was the first guy I had in here when I started doing videos. Whenever we started going, when Facebook went live, that first week.
Talk about a
I had him in
band
here.
where everybody knows what they're doing, man. That
They've been doing it
drummer
for so
is
long,
on
man.
point. The dad on the bass.
The
is on
dad
point.
played bass
You know,
because they needed a bass player.
well, that's how I ended up
That's
on the bass
crazy.
with our band,
Really?
man. Yeah, we could never find a bass player, man. I
think-
learned out of anger, out of
I think
Out of spite.
out of spite, man. Because
David has almost played everything, man. He started on the bajo sexto,
because of the necessity, man. That's
and
the thing.
Matt wanted to play, man, and
And Matt
he
picked it
learned
up.
that
He was-
bajo sexto. I mean, he did a damn good job of
Dude,
learning
wouldn't
it.
it be cool to just
But the point I was trying to make, and a shout out to Jose Diaz, our drummer. Jose was like, man, yeah, okay, we had technical difficulties, man, but the crowd was loving it. The
Yeah,
crowd was
yeah.
dancing. The crowd, and he's like, man, and if they like it, I love it. And I was like, man, that's a good way to. That's how you got to think about it, man.
You
It
know-
ain't, you there was technical difficulties. We were messing up, whatever, but
the people out there,
Yeah,
if
so
they, that's what it's all about.
If
Yeah.
they like it, then you gotta love it.
Here's
man.
what I know about two things. Well, not two things, two genres. That's Mexican music and country music. If the people ain't dancing, you ain't doing your
you
job.
ain't doing your
Exactly.
job.
If they're sitting there just watching, you better be doing some shit. Well, that's that light bulb. Let me turn it. Or whatever. But anyway, it's like if you're not a fucking really doing like some technical stuff, to like, wow, God, I gotta see what this guy's doing. I mean, you're not doing your job. You know, I mean, they're just
Because
they're there to dance.
they're not gonna be like, oh man, he missed that F sharp.
Exactly.
Man, going to,
Exactly, dude.
He really missed that scale going to that transition. Dude, they're dancing, they're drinking, they're
You
having
gotta
a
make
good
them
time.
drink and
Dude,
or dance, one of the two.
I just thought
The
about
drunker
this.
you are, the better we sound.
I just thought about this, but wouldn't it be cool? And it can happen if we got. Because now you can probably involve, of course, the missions, but you can probably involve maybe the Montalista now that Gerald's got it. But wouldn't it be cool to have a reunion event where it's all the people we mentioned that are available, maybe like Gerald's band, the Munguias, Johnny and the guys, just to have just music all day long at one of these places. I think Waco would appreciate the nostalgia
and do it for a good cause.
And I may be wrong, man, but I've heard that old Moses isn't exactly in great health.
A good jam for him, and a good jam for him and for Maxie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
A good jam for those the OG
cool
jam. Yes.
Yeah, those the OGs, man.
I don't think there's a musician here in Waco that didn't go through. You either went through Maxie or you went through Moses.
That's exactly
the
truth.
Or if you're Pedro and you're lucky enough, you got to do both.
Or if you're in Tropical side, you went through Los Albatros.
Yeah.
That's what that was.
I mean, we're mentioning, Moses and Gerald and Johnny was some other. I had the blessing of also with Porfirio, man. Porfirio Sanchez, he taught me again with that big old accordion, and then here recently. Well, I played with the Mariachi Azteca for a few years, man. So I was like, man, this is kind of crazy. If they need some help, I still have my traje, man. If it fits me a little tight, but I can still get it on. I'll go out there and
it's for the ladies, man. It's for the ladies, man.
Play with them a little bit, but
we need. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it was cool that like 20 years later, I'm playing with them side to side, you know. So that I thought that was pretty neat.
We need to get in the Gerald's here and do that.
Yeah.
He does have the Montalista now, right?
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah, I heard I haven't seen it. I heard it's a cool space.
It's really nice, man. I actually Joe Davila's band and Gerald's. I
think they started off. Didn't
forgive me, man. I can't remember their name.
Ineffable.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
They right after we got through recording this last song. Joe started that band with Gerald.
Oh, right,
so,
right.
So, man, got to support each other, man. And he was like, hey, man, we're going to be at the Mojo. And I was like, yeah, man. I'm down, man. I was the only one sitting in there, and I was like, man, it's cool. Like, because I got to, man, I was a kid, man, when, Joe was on bass.
Right.
Gerald was playing bajo,
Yes. And the Gerald, man, beast at bajo, dude.
Yeah.
Beast at bajo, dude.
It would be awesome, man, if they could start doing. Because I remember as a kid, man, going to like the 16 de septiembre, the 5 de Mayo
You're talking about the Montalista or Mojo. You better get there early. Parking spots were limited.
I remember that was one of my first gigs, man. I played a couple of polkas with.
You better have good shocks in your car if you're gonna go in the back of the Montalista.
Yeah. Well, we used to watch the baseball game, man. And then right after the baseball game, all the festivities.
Those were days I don't know if we took for granted, but those were the good old days. Golly, music was thick. Everybody left on.
At the Waco Missions, I know if you're, I don't know if anybody remembers the merry-go-round. Is that what it's called, the merry-go-round?
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody got messed up at.
Man, you were trying to get on that
getting
thing.
Messed up once a week over there.
So the band's over here playing. You hear the polkas and the cumbias and everything going on, and you're over there trying to hang on to the merry-go-round, and then you get thrown off. You get all dusty and stuff, and you go over there and look for your mom and dad. They're out there dancing.
That thing was rusty already when we were kids, man. I don't remember it.
We didn't worry about tetanus.
No, walk it off,
man.
Drink
here, have a soda. You'll feel better.
But man, those were the good old days. Man, I remember those days. And like I said, so was that your era, not mine, because you guys are younger than I am. That era, were y'all the last guys to where y'all took the Tejano with y'all, and then because your kids are not listening to the Tejano. So was that y'all?
Man, the
the
thing
last,
is,
I think so, man.
Because remember back in our days, we were kids. I mean, y'all were kids listening to Tejano.
And we thought it was cool. I mean,
and
that's when
cool.
I remember when Eddie Gonzalez first came out, dude. I was like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, now they're not doing that now.
I'll say it like this, man. I think we think that there isn't kids, but there is, man. Like, I think it was right at the beginning of this year or beginning of last year. I helped out a band here from Waco called La Marcha Norteña.
Okay.
Young kids, man. These guys are. I think the saxophone player. I think he was gonna graduate high school or and these kids, man.
I think I had him. Who was the singer? The dad.
The dad's a singer, man.
I had him here in my studio. They're badass.
They're amazing.
They are
musicians, man. And those young guys, man. But again, those are these young kids, and you could just tell by their influence that they're listening to their dad's albums.
They have to.
They're listening to their,
Yes.
you know, so they're listening to older music,
Yes.
you know, because so I think. You know, I think with like Tejano people think, oh man, it's going away or blah blah blah. But
I think
it's
gotta be.
It's I think like anything else, man, it's evolving because
it's got to really evolve though. It really has to.
It's evolving, but there's Tejano bands out there that
there's a lot of Tejano guys out there that are sticking to the same formula that worked in 1995.
Yeah, and you can't do that.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, like, you got bands like La Firma, El Plan. You know, these are bands from Mexico, but you listen to El Plan, man, and that's La Fiebre.
Right, I got you. Well, that could be recycled because that was so far back.
You know,
maybe
but you know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
could. You're right.
There's, you know, unfortunately, and I think it goes. You know, we're sons of immigrants. You know,
right.
We're first generation
right.
born here, so we got to see both sides of it. You know, and there's a lot of, unfortunately, there's a lot of like just plain ignorance when it comes to the community on all sides. You know, we got back from Monterrey, you know, and we were those jokers. We got back from Monterrey and we were like, man, that's big, man. That's a big thing. And, you know, without saying names, but we played a gig in Dallas or Fort Worth, like the weekend, right? Like the weekend after. And we got accused of being sellouts because we went to go play in Mexico, and we're like
hating. Let's go hating.
And we were like, man, like, dude, they're listening to. As a matter of fact, when we were coming back, when we were crossing the border, David Lee was crossing that way to go.
There was money to be had in Mexico, brother. That's where it was.
You know, man, it's Spanish. The words are in Spanish.
It's music in Spanish.
That's where you wanted to go to.
Now, man, Mexico is putting out some top quality Tejano music, man.
Oh, they got great musicians
La
right
Firma,
now,
El Plan. There's some guys I've seen on YouTube, Samoyedo or something like that. Those guys are playing like Steve Jordan stuff to the T.
Wow, dude.
Yeah. There's some really good groups, Tejano, like hardcore Tejano, coming out of Mexico,
crazy.
man.
That's crazy.
And what I've noticed, man, is we're a lot of the new stuff that's coming out. A lot of people complain it's not getting played on the radio, this and that. There's some stuff that is really, really good, but man, some of the stuff that you hear, dude, is a little iffy, man. I mean, some of the Spanish is not right.
Yeah.
That's
because
the quality
too regional, maybe, or
I think what's happening is every, like you said earlier, the good part about it is you don't need a label.
Right.
You don't need a label. You don't need all this money.
Right.
You can do things on your own.
Yes.
But because of that, people are doing things on their own.
They're cutting corners.
And it's not coming out the
way
way
it
it
too,
should
like
come
a lot
out,
of the
man.
younger kids nowadays, you know, there's been such a big influx of immigrants here that the young Tejanos that are younger, like our kids, you know, my son's 20, you know, his generation, in the younger generation, or maybe the generation right after him, these kids, even though they're Tejanos by birth, they speak Spanish. So whenever there's a Tejano song out there and the lyrics aren't just,
they know,
you know, they're not gonna.
They're like, what the hell is that?
They're not gonna listen to it, you know.
Raulito's kids, man, are putting out some good stuff.
Really?
Raulito and both of the girl, his daughter sings. I don't know if his boy. I think a little bit.
Okay.
Beautiful,
but they're
that's your taste. That's fine.
Hey, they're putting out some good music, man.
And so do Emilio's kids too, right?
Also,
those dudes are. Yeah, those dudes are good, man.
Really
good. You know, they're kind of along the same lines of like Zamora County line, like
really
kind of.
They're more on the rock side. Raulito's kids are doing more cumbias and
because it's up in the air right now. Music, dude. Right now, dude. They're looking for something cool, and they're just coming up with styles that they're living.
There's a lot of bands right now too. The cumbia's in right now. There's bands out of Houston they're from Texas, man.
Yeah, it's
not Jay, it's not Ram, but it's music that's being generated here. So that's the need. New. What? I guess that's a good question, man. Like, what is Tejano? What, to me, it's the bajo, the accordion, and stuff that's made here,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can add keyboards and
yeah.
But what makes it?
it's kind of like that eternal argument. Like they made a big deal. With La Mafia when at the Houston Rodeo when the Tejano night, when they had La Energía Norteña instead of La Mafia,
right?
And and Oscar made a big deal about it, blah blah blah. It's like, well, they're called La Energía Norteña, La Norteña. But all those kids in that band are from here. They're all born in Fort Worth. Yeah, their parents are, but I mean, those are Tejanos, And dude, they just put out Friends in Low Places with the accordion and sax.
I heard that. I heard that.
Like,
yes.
So you can see right away that those kids are the same influence that we had.
Yes, exactly.
Where we grew up listening to Mexican music from Mexico, but we also grew up listening to music
Garth
here.
Brooks too. So, all that stuff too.
It's just.
So it's changing, but are you okay with that change?
Who's spinning this stuff? Are there? Yeah, who's spinning this stuff?
That's the other thing, man. Is that you don't hear a
so
lot of this
stuff.
Spotify
doing that?
Some of these internet radio people are playing it, but you're not going to hear it on an FM.
You're going to find it on YouTube.
Here's the deal, though.
YouTube and word of mouth.
I don't listen to radio really. Only radio I listen to. It's about 5 minutes early in the morning time when I'm going to work. I listen to 95.7 because they have local news real quick. And that's it. Other than that, I don't listen to radio. I listen to Spotify. I listen to whatever because I know it's just, I know what I want to listen to. And that's what it is. So if nobody's spinning your stuff on terrestrial radio, who gives a damn? That shit's over.
Yeah.
Them days are over. For the big boys, that's their bread and butter, but their audience is also listening to Spotify.
Right.
It is what it is. You're getting the same.
I think, like, as far as, like, where we're concerned nowadays, man, ours is just work.
Yeah.
It's just trying to find
as
work.
As long as you can stay busy, man.
Stay busy, find work,
So you said you guys are where are you guys going to be at?
We're going to be, this weekend, we'll be at the Waco Mission Saturday. Now, I may be wrong, but I want to say it is open to the public.
Wait.
We're just inviting everybody.
Everybody posting the private parties.
Hey, happy birthday, Buncho, man. We're going to show other people to show
Y'all
up.
said that.
And then next weekend, the 24th.
We'll be at Brotherwell.
And
that show starts at 7.
Are y'all doing the 2-piece or 3-piece, like without drums, or maybe even
that is an option that we'll probably start doing. Just maybe a bass and the bajo sexto or the accordion.
You can do like some wineries. People will love that stuff.
Because some venues, smaller venues, they probably may not be able to pay what we would like, for the whole band. So we have a smaller option available.
But
it'll be more of acoustic. But I mean, it is a 5-piece.
Have you tried to approach Brian Brown at the Backyard yet?
I have not, man.
That's my homeboy and Sam's homeboy,
and I believe
too.
We just haven't, man. Ever since we have music on that we could show now.
Yeah, I think the thing was when we put this back together, because like I said, man, this is like our 4th time.
Yes.
Trying this. It's just because everything was.
We just barely started playing. Barely.
Yeah,
it's only been maybe a year.
Exactly.
I don't know if they have a Tejano
man, we didn't even have a picture for a whole minute, man.
Yeah,
we're like, the last picture we had, it was like from like before the pandemic.
My band too, brother. Same thing.
We're like, man, we got to get this ball rolling.
I
don't know if they have anything coming over there here soon. Do they have any Tejano?
Dude, I don't, but man.
Maybe we could.
But you got to get there early. You got. I mean, as far as like booking, so they're probably going to be booked up for the rest of the year. But maybe I should be nice and warm by the time March comes along, and you can start maybe hitting them up for Cinco de Mayo or some stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, it'd be great to open up for a good Tejano act that's coming.
Or even a year from now. I know it sounds crazy, but like close to September 16th would be a good, something like that.
It gets here fast, man.
It does, but I want people to know about you because you're my homeboys. But it's good music. It's just good music.
I guess if people, I mean, they've heard us play in the past. The difference now is we're doing tunes that are like old classic country songs, like the most recent recording that we did, the Bottle Let Me Down.
Can we hear that? Can you do it, David, on guitar?
Man, no, probably not.
Probably do a little acapella. No,
I tell you what, let me see. I'll mess with it. Let me see. Maybe I'll strum it. Let me see if I can strum it.
My hypocrisy only goes so far.
Check 1, 2.
Indeed. Strum it with your thumb, man. See, man, we're putting Isaac on the spot.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Tonight the bottle
Let me down.
and let your memory come around. The one true friend I thought I found. Tonight the bottle let me down. Each night I leave the barroom when it's over, not feeling any pain at closing time. But tonight your memory found me much too sober. Couldn't drink enough to keep you off my mind. Tonight the bottle let me down and let your memory come around. The one true friend I thought I found. Tonight the bottle let me down. Tonight the bottle
Caught me off guard.
Tonight the bottle. Tonight the bottle let me down. It's a little taste of it.
Watch out, man.
I love it. Anything with the hag, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
the
you can
hag-
find that. That was recorded with oh man, my brain just went blank, man. That's
Metal Light.
A DRS.
DRS, man,
A
with Steve
DRS.
Roses, man.
Yeah, big shout out
Big
to
shout out to
Steve,
Steve,
I
man.
man.
love
Thank
Steve.
you
I love
very
working-
much,
I love
man.
work. Dude, I got my first taste of recording at DRS, and that's why another reason why I'm here today. Man, I'm telling you, other people just got me where I'm at today. Mario and Steve Roses, all those guys, just I wanted to record, and shout out to Steve also. Good work from Steve and you guys. I listened to it a while ago. It's good stuff.
So you can find that single on Spotify. You can find it on our YouTube channel, Zamora County Line. You can look us up on Facebook, Zamora County Line.
I hear you.
Instagram. I think our Instagram is ZCL Waco.
Okay.
So you can find us. I mean, you can find us anywhere. That's the newest single. We're trying to.
Badass, dude. You
move
know,
that.
have y'all guys thought of maybe even doing like anything like a live video concert to where it's like
We're
and cutting
working
them
on
up
it,
for
man.
Instagram?
We're working on it. I want
We've
to.
been talking to a few folks.
Yeah,
about,
well, I actually want to see if I can get somebody to come in. I mean, if there's anybody out there that can reach out to us, I'd like to get someone to record the
like a live
the performance at
yeah.
Mayberry.
That'd be nice.
There you go. That'd be
Maybe
badass.
time,
Yes, that'd
you know.
be kick ass. Man, any of you guys out there like in video, that'd be badass to do. From there you can chop it up, put it on Instagram or whatever. But and that's gonna be October 1st, Mayberry for the Aztec Aztec MC Biker Club, Zamora County Line, and then Los Roaches. Should be fun jamming with my homeboys. I'm telling you.
I think that particular charity, man, from my understanding, is to raise money to help homeless kids stay in school.
Bam.
So
Badass.
man, that
That's
is
essential.
that is a charity that, man, when they approached us for that, I said, man, yeah, we're
Badass. Yes.
we're down, we'll do it, because that's important, man.
No, it is, brother. It is. And playing music with your homeboys is also important too.
Yeah.
That's man. I can't wait to do it. Can't wait to see you guys jam. And I just, like I said, I'm a big fan of you guys just because you're my boys, and it's
appreciate
good.
you,
And
man.
it's
Thanks,
good.
Isaac. Thank
It's
you.
good
We're
music.
big fans too,
It's
brother.
good music, and man, I wish one day, like I said, we could do an event where we can just all just have a big jam session one day, 2 or 3 guitar players, 2 or 3 accordions, and just all on one, just jam. I love
in front of a stage, live streaming to like a bunch of people.
Something, and we could do that, but we could make that happen, you and I, Lewis. But
I mean, even if we don't, man, just the idea of. I think especially since, like I said, I mean, I don't know how long we're gonna have Mr. Moses with us. And
I mean, there's a YouTuber that's out there that does this like performance stuff every night.
Okay. Yeah,
and he gets like millions and millions.
I see that guy. Yes, he's from Vegas.
His name is Mike.
I think he's from Vegas,
right?
He's
from Vegas. Yeah, he's from Vegas. He's got accent, and one of his specials, he like went on stage. Not in front of people, but it was in front of a camera with the lights, spotlights focused on him. That's what I want to do.
Yeah, you should do that, brother. You're a good musician.
I think we all should do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I can't sing, so I just stick to playing guitar.
We really can't either, but
no, y'all sing very well.
Necessity is the mother of invention, man.
Y'all have a unique sound. Y'all have a good sound. Like I hear it, and just. You know how to follow. You know all of Pedro's moves, and you have to. You got to know all of Pedro's moves.
We've been at this, man. Like I said, Pedro and I together as a band or whatever.
You know his turns and all that stuff.
We've been friends all our life, but as musicians, I mean, it was since about '96, man. It's just. And
you mentioned something about a waltz one time.
Right.
Yeah, we always think about you, man.
Like, it's not really a waltz, but hey, I know what you're talking about.
Which one is it?
You talking about when you going, man?
Well, we'll just do the chorus part.
Yeah,
Tragos Amargos.
Tragos Amargos, man.
Let me get you the right. This goes all South the Wago out there.
Open it up, man. Gotta crack it open if we're gonna do this song.
Tragos de amargo licor que no me hacen olvidar y me siento como un cobarde que hasta me pongo a llorar. Eso.
I love that one.
We always think about you when we play that song, man, because you said it. You came up to me one time. You said, man, you said, man, I really like the way y'all sing that waltz. And I said, man, we don't do no damn. We don't do a waltz. What the hell's that? And you said, Tragos Amargos. I said, man, come on,
I guess
man.
I call it a waltz because it's a 3/4 time.
Yeah.
2, 3 times, 2, 3 times. I love, that's just, man, those.
So if you go to one of our shows, that's kind of the mix that you'll hear. You'll hear a little bit of Merle. You'll hear a little bit of Ramon. You'll hear maybe a little bit of Flaco, a little bit of Johnny Cash.
Those are songs people can relate to.
So we got a lot of plans. I'll little one of the cat out the bag, man. What we're kind of working on Rancho Grande. I know that's something
yes.
We get requested a lot.
So yeah, I think that's gonna be the next song in the studio, man.
Kick ass, dude. That's a great one.
Wait, no, Mr. Roses.
Another one of my favorite country singers, though, Buck Owens. Together Again.
Yes,
we're trying to put maybe a different little spin on that one.
Yes,
and just trying to do things a little different, man. There's a couple George Strait's tunes that we might put a little bit of a cumbia beat to.
Nice.
I hope we don't get any tomatoes thrown at us for that. But I mean, maybe not everybody's gonna like what we do, and I understand there's some stuff you can't really touch. You got to kind of keep stuff.
Yes.
But
some stuff you can.
We're gonna try to do it as
I think it's just, as long as it's respectfully done, tastefully done.
Brother.
You can.
So we'll see, man.
That's gonna be badass, dude. I'm looking forward to it, dude. Any quick shout outs, fellas?
Is there anybody is there like a chat zone or anything? Anybody? I know Ernie. But big shout out to Ernest Montelongo. And really, man, like I said earlier, we were mentioning a lot of these guys. I hope I didn't miss anybody out, man.
Shout out to the rest of the guys in the band, man. Shout out to our buddy Jose. He's on the drums. Joaquin Champ Hernandez on the bajo, man. Shout out to Sammy.
I heard he's a beast.
He's tough, man.
He's a young prodigy, man. He's a good dude. Sammy Kalunga, man. Shout out to Sammy.
Sure.
So I mean, just like I said, man, look us up on Facebook, look us up on Instagram, look us up on their YouTube channel. We just put the song on the YouTube channel.
So if you get a chance, man, look up The Bottle Let Me Down.
And it's on
County
SoundCloud too. I haven't gotten into Spotify yet. I'm gonna have to see if I can.
Okay.
Be very careful with Spotify.
Yeah.
Songs off of that, and people making more money.
Yeah, see, I've kind of heard that, so I was kind of like, I mean, again, it's no longer.
Yeah, exactly. It's all something to promote your live stuff. To be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
Same thing like making a flyer.
We're not 21 anymore, where we needed that gig money.
Exactly.
Like, oh man, if I don't play this week, I ain't making my rent.
That's it. Yeah. We all have jobs to clock in at.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I did love living that lifestyle as a working musician on that one time.
I think so too, man. We loved it too. But you know what, man?
Some of the best times of our lives.
The way I look back on it now, I think that if Mr. Pedro Zamora, his Pedro's dad, he's always been there for us, man. One thing about it, and it's always near and dear to my heart, man, is that when they would ask him, "Hey, man, that's your son on the accordion?" He said, "No, that's my son too on the bajo."
Oh wow, that's awesome, brother. Huge words.
Those are huge words from a huge, and I think because of him, we stayed away from a lot of the trouble. That unfortunately.
That a lot of it, we saw that shit
has taken out.
Yes,
I mean, because we were playing bars. I mean,
we were in places
18, 19 in Fort Worth, Dallas, San Antonio,
South Oak Cliff before it got gentrified.
Tell them about the time y'all got your van stolen.
People,
that was
was that Atlanta?
Sweetwater.
Sweetwater. I know Sweetwater.
That was with the old Johnny Bustamante,
yes,
man. We went and set up.
I remember Sweetwater.
Everything was ready to go. I remember old Alex that played the keyboard had bought some brand new shoes, man, like turtle skin shoes or something.
Right.
And he was all bragging to Carlos about them. And so everything was set up, ready to go. We went to go grab a bite to eat, like right across the parking lot.
Exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about.
And then Johnny Bustamante, man, he's eating his food, and he looks up, and he's like, "Man, that kind of looks like my van." And he kind of just left it at that, and we finished up eating. Well, we went back over there. Well, that was his van, man. They took the van with Alex's shoes and his new getup that he had just bought at.
How about your accordions?
No. Those were, man. The thing
Thank
about
God.
it, my dad was always there, man. So as soon as we were done,
but we did get the accordion stolen one time, though. Remember in McGregor?
That was
what?
Yeah,
but
man.
we ended up getting those back though, because I mean McGregor, we kind of knew what.
Yeah.
What
remember we were doing a gig,
what.
man, and they, at that time, Pedro had like 3-4 accordions, right, that we were using on stage.
He took one of them, man.
And
one of the better ones.
One of the better ones, man, was sitting on the side of the stage, man.
No.
The dude just decided to.
My dad went and got that the next morning. He kind of had an idea who it was, and he went and he looked him up or something, and went and knocked on the door.
No way.
Yeah, got it back.
He ended up getting it back, man.
Wow.
And of course, the bass that got stolen. It's just I mean it's.
Dude.
Those stories, man, they happen to you. Like, I think, a lot of people, I think among musicians,
yes,
when we tell stories of the road, those are like, anyone else, man, thinks that this is all just sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and there's just,
camaraderie.
Yeah, that we were in just constant, at strip joints and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But it really.
Those were our days during the week.
Yeah. Those were, but honestly, those days on the road, man, was just like you were with your boys,
Yes, brother, making music.
The road was just
dude.
fun, man.
Man.
We
I miss those days.
We would travel with Los Munguias, and you know, just listening to those dudes, you know, who are a lot older than us.
Yes.
Man,
you know,
so with
Talk about the shit they went through.
Telling stories, and you know, me and Pedro would be sitting at the very back, you know, in the van, and we just sit there like,
everybody goes to San Antonio, and they think San Antonio is the Riverwalk and all that. There's some clubs in San Antonio.
Dude,
where,
I'm telling you.
Man, they talk about that. There was an incident back in the day where I think the devil showed up or something. Like some dude was dancing with the chicken.
Yes,
it like stunk real bad, and
I was thinking about that a couple of weeks ago.
You're talking about my dad because he told me that exact story.
Yeah, at one of those
old,
clubs,
urban legend.
That he ran into the
club.
Restroom and jumped out the window or something. Yeah, man. Like we played at clubs like that over there in San Antonio, man.
Dude, that's a real club, and also that some bitch came back.
Dude, we would
see
play
some mean-looking cholos walking down the
we
street.
would play.
Dancing
I can't remember what was it called, man. I think it was something. I remember it had sports bar at the end, but it was the west side of San Antonio.
Those were some rough places. You didn't want to step outside.
There would literally be 4 different gangs in the club. But the crazy part was the dance floor was neutral territory.
Ah, got you.
Everyone could dance, have a good time, listen to the band. But as soon as the music was done, they all went back to their little section. And, you know, you could tell them by, you know, we're 17, 18 years old. We're like, damn, what the hell are we doing in here, man? You know?
Yeah, I did a club in Michigan, and one, I didn't know they listened to Tejano. 2, they stepped out of a fucking time machine. They come out in zoot suits, wife beaters, a little cholo hats. Like, damn, dog, where do y'all come from?
1950.
What's that movie?
Man?
What's that movie?
American Me or
the other Stand and Deliver or something?
Oh yeah, one of those.
Just like that. I went straight at it like that, straight up by Chugles. But you know,
so that was a whole side of San Antonio I had never seen, man. But it was cool, man.
It was cool, man.
It's not like that much anymore, man. But I loved it. It was, you know, the capital Tejano. It will always be that. You know, the capital Tejano. Of course, it was nothing like it was in the '90s. That was the best. That was the best. San Antonio was the best.
Say that I wish I was a little that we would have started playing a little bit earlier, man.
Got you.
Like maybe 5 years earlier, because we missed
and I think
that
too, like one of our eternal conversations is that, man, we appreciate Johnny coming in and doing what he did with us and everything, you know. But I think that
what if
we would have just stayed
Jokers, you know?
Stayed in our lane, man. Stayed as those Jokers. Stayed as that conjunto scene, because you know there's a few bands.
Originally we had your back. We loved y'all immediately, dude. The whole community got your back. It's like, oh wow, some kick-ass young conjunto band, and y'all had that drummer, whatever his name is, that black dude.
Jimmy Pringle, man. We didn't even touch that. Yeah. When Matt Fallon jumped on the Bajo Sexto,
Jimmy ran on
Jimmy Pringle would jump on the drums, man. And
he would get on it, dude. And that was a cool ass little band, dude.
Yeah. What's up, Jimmy, man? Shout out to old Jimmy Pringle, man.
Band, dude. Well, real quick, you got any shout outs before we call it a day?
Just shout out to my dad, man. Like I say, he's always been there, helping us, guiding us, always, just being there for us all the time. My wife, my girls, my kiddos, and just also, man, just all the musicians that have been there that have jammed out with us. Like we mentioned, Gerald, Moses, Mario Porfirio, Joe Davila, Johnny Bustamante, and Carlos Hernandez.
Yes, Oscar, we lost Oscar too.
Oscar,
we lost.
Yeah, man, I didn't even know that.
Johnny
man.
Ramirez.
I was just asking about him. Man.
Yeah, dude, we lost him in a matter of weeks. His chest was bothering him. He thought he had COVID. He went to the doctor because you got weeks to live with stage 4 lung cancer, and he literally had like 3-4 weeks to live, and that's how long it took. But man, yeah, R.I.P. to that dude, man. At one time, dude, man, we had some of the best times jamming with Johnny. When Oscar and Carlos were with the rhythm section, kept me on my toes, because they knew how to play that shit.
Yeah.
They knew how to play that
man,
shit.
Oscar was man. That was one hell of a musician, man.
Yes, dude.
We got to play with him a couple times. I think something that Carlos had put together.
Probably so. You know, Carlos.
I think he's like, hey, man, are y'all not doing anything? So I think David and I went, and so Carlos was playing drums. I think you played bajo or something.
I played bajo, I think.
And Oscar played the bass.
I haven't played the bajo in a long time, man.
He's like, let's just jam, kid.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was fun. I mean, four professionals, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
they brought this bajo, man. I can't. Whose bajo was it?
I don't know, man.
They brought this old bajo, man, old strings on it, and I was like, dang, man, I was trying to tune
a tetanus shot.
When I was tuning it, and the dust was coming off of the strings, man. It was one of those things,
yeah,
man.
I got you.
I was like, oh man, but yeah, we did a,
so we got to jam with them a few times.
That's a sad passing.
Yeah,
just a shout out to all the guys out there that we may have jammed with at one point or another, man. Thank you.
All the local musicians, man. You know, because this is one of those things, man, where, you know, we all gotta support each other, man.
Oh, you have to, for sure. And Waco's kicking ass right now with talent now.
Like I said, man, you know, Pride and Joy, man, they got through doing their set, man, and they sat there and watched us play, man, and that's respect.
Yes, dude.
That's respect. That's cool, man.
I need to get those guys. And Chris, is Chris your classmate?
He's
about our age, yeah.
I think was he your classmate, or was he younger than you?
Yeah, I can't remember. I think he is a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, he's a little bit younger.
Okay.
I think he's older than me, but younger than Pedro.
Shout out to Chris. Started right here in the Cole University, you know.
That's right.
And well, dude, next week I'm not sure. I forget who I have. I'm thinking it's either gonna be the Blues.
Oh man.
Okay. If not, I'll have to check. I mean, I've been blessed to where I've been booked with great talent, and all week. I mean, every week it's somebody really good, just as good as the next, and so should be fun next week. The Blues. Thank you guys for, like I said, for doing this. I've been wanting to have you guys on, and I want to have you guys on again. We'll figure. I'd like to have the whole band in here.
Yeah, we'll try to get the rest of the guys.
We'll put cameras in the drum room, and that's what I used to do. I used to put cameras in the drum room. I've had full bands in here doing a podcast just like this. Yeah, and it can be done because that's why I built this thing, just to do shit like this.
We'll get the rest of the guys in here, man.
Get them in, man.
Zamora County Line, folks. Check these guys out. Like they said, they got a new single out. It's on YouTube and their Facebook page, right?
Check us out on Facebook.
Zamora County Line is on Facebook. ZCL Waco is Instagram,
right.
And then our page on YouTube is Zamora County Line. We just put the new single on there, and you can direct message us on either one for booking information, man. And we're getting booked up, man. So
we're starting to work, so
we're available, man. Hit us up.
We'll start posting some of our public gigs.
Yes.
Well, he can post the public gigs. I'll post the private gigs. Just balance it out, man. Get controversy going.
But dude, like I said, thank y'all for doing it. And I told you a while ago, brothers, and I mean this for real. I do love you dudes, man.
Likewise.
We grew up playing this not genre, but this.
I was just thinking, man. The first time we did this when Jimmy Aguirre was still on bass, man. You were on the.
Oh yes, I do remember. We had so many different projects coming. I just thought about it just now. Yes.
Yeah, you were in that. You were in that project too. You're playing guitar, man.
Sure. Man, because that's just the way it is. Though we found ideas and try to make it work.
Yeah.
We do so many. At one time, whenever I was playing with Mario, well, not really, but he would just. Gigs would just come up. Mario would come up with a gig. Let's get a band together. So we got
what I remember, man, is we went out to like Downsville, I think, and took some pictures.
They were pretty cool.
Yes.
And I had an ex-girlfriend at the time, man. She was like an aspiring photographer.
Okay.
And she took some of those pictures, man, and we broke up shortly after that, man. She never gave me the pictures.
Oh,
I was like, oh man, I'm sorry, man.
I remember that photo shoot. Yes.
Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that, dude.
Damn.
But thank y'all, fellas, once again.
Thank you,
Zamora County Line, everybody. Next week, I'll post out who I'm going to have. I think it's going to be the Blues. But if not, the Blues is going to be sometime soon. Be sure to like and share. Peace out. Kick ass, fellas.
No, thank you, Isaac. Appreciate it, man.
Hey, let's take a picture real quick. I'm always forgetting. We'll take one right here. We can do it right here.
I don't know how many beers I drank, man. I started getting a little.
I was wanting to put
pass him another beer, man.
Oh, yeah. Y'all free to kick it. Oh, shit. Might as well.
Yeah, man. Might as well knock it out, man. It's here, man.